up, everybody? My name is Logan Strom with CTF Strom Talks Football. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my ranking of every single NFL team after the NFL draft. I bet you're wondering why I'm not doing an NFL draft grading tier list kind of deal. It's just because I know a decent amount of the players, but not enough to where I can make a whole tier list grading each team's draft. Like, it just would be good quality. So I thought it'd be a good idea to basically rank every single NFL team with their rosters right now, including the players that got drafted. That doesn't mean I'm not going to give my opinion on certain draft decisions teams make, because I definitely will. It's going to feel a lot more clean, and I think it would just be a lot more organized if I do it off of a team tier list instead of a draft tier list. Hopefully these next couple months fly by, because I need football to come back, man. I'm missing it. Don't get me wrong, I love baseball, and the basketball playoffs are fun, but football's where it's at, man. Enough yapping, let's not waste any more time. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bells so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, here we are at the tier list. It's pretty simple, but I'll go over the tiers real quick. At the very top, we've got the elite teams. Below that, we've got the great teams. Below that, we've got the okay/mid teams. Below that, we've got the mediocre teams. And at the bottom, we've got the trash teams. So let's kick this list off with the very first team, and we've got the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not going to lie, starting off, I think this is the most mid team you're going to get. This is the definition of a mid team right now. Like, don't get me wrong, this team's not bad, but there's just nothing there that really motivates me other than the hopes of Marvin Harrison Jr. improving this year. I will say, though, I was a fan of their draft. I love their first round selection. Will Johnson in the second round is going to be a really good option. Overall, I think they had a really good draft. But overall, as a team, they're okay, but they're not the greatest. Like, their offense worries me a little bit. Their defense will be better, but at the same time, not the best. Like, overall, mid-team. Up next, we've got the Atlanta Falcons, and I've got to be honest, I just have to put them in mid. A part of me wants to put them in mediocre, but I really can't do that. They have way too much talent on that team. But honestly, I think their biggest issue is their coach. I think he's a moron, and he's holding this team back. Plus, other than Jalon Walker in the first round, I really just didn't care for their draft. Like, it was really mid, in my opinion. And overall, like, they're going to be an okay team, but I don't think they're really going to take a step above what they were last year, and last year they were mid. And I have to be honest with you, I don't think Michael Penix Jr. is that good. I mean, he's not bad, but I think nothing really motivates me about him. I think he's just an okay passer. His mobility's okay, but his decision-making's not the greatest. I'm not going to lie. He could prove me wrong this year, absolutely, but right now, I don't think he's that great of a quarterback, and plus him and the coaching is going to hold this team back this year. Up next, we've got the Baltimore Ravens. This team's going to be elite, just like last year. Like, they've got Lamar Jackson, they've got Derrick Henry, they've got Zay Flowers when he decides to be smart on the field. You got Mark Andrews, you got Isaiah Likely, you got Roquan Smith. As long as you keep that core around, they're going to be really damn good. And plus, you already know how the Ravens are in the draft. Like, just like almost every year, the Ravens had a really good draft. Like Malaki Starks and Ernie Jones Jr. I think those players are going to be really good, and I think they have a lot of potential. And plus, I know John Harbaugh is sometimes on the hot seat, but let's be honest, he's a great coach, and he's the best coach they've ever had. Up next, we got the Buffalo Bills. Usually, I would put them in great just by their roster, but I'm going to put them elite because they proved me wrong last year. And they can definitely do the same this year as long as they're healthy. Like, they proved me one thing. Like, as long as they have Sean McDermott and Josh Allen, they're always going to be great, and they're always going to contend. Like, not contend to the fact they're going to go to the Super Bowl, because the Chiefs always kick that door shut, sadly. But hopefully they can reach that point, and I'm rooting for them this year. Plus, I think they had a really solid draft. Up next, we got the Carolina Panthers, and I'm not going to lie, the Panthers have a really strong shot to being solid this year, and honestly, I think I'm going to put them in solid. I think they have a really good chance to be good this year. I don't think they're going to be good to the point where they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be good to the point where they're going to contend for the playoffs. I think they're going to take a huge step up from last year. As long as Bryce Young plays like he did at the end of last year, this team's going to contend for the playoffs. And plus, adding Rico Dowdle to that offense is a very underrated move. And I think he's going to be really good next to Chuba Hubbard. Just makes the Cowboys dumber that they got rid of him. Plus, I love what the Panthers did in the draft. A lot of defensive picks in the later rounds, like second and throughout. And then having McMillan in the first round shocked me. But honestly, I think he can be a really good receiver. And hopefully next to Xavier, because even though I'm not the biggest fan of him, he still could be good, and I think McMillan will be good. It sounds weird coming from a Saints fan, but I'm kind of rooting for this team. It's been a while since they've been decent. Up next, we got the Chicago Bears, and as much as I want to put them in solid, I just can't yet. I'm going to put them in mediocre for now. Now, don't get me wrong. They made a lot of great moves in the offseason, boosting up their offensive line, adding to their offense, adding to their defense. And I'm also a big fan of Ben Johnson. I think so far he's been a lot better coach than Eberflus. But there's a couple things holding me back. One, we don't know how Caleb Williams is going to be this year. We don't know if he's going to step up. Two, we don't know how their defense is going to be, because as much as I think they're going to be really good, since they also got Dennis Allen as their defensive coordinator, we don't know how they're going to be this year. And also, I'm going to be honest, I just wasn't a big fan of their draft. I don't know why they took a tight end at the number 1 overall. Plus, it wasn't even the best tight end out of the two, in my opinion. And I just didn't get it. They should have drafted an offensive lineman, but whatever. I think they could be solid, but for now I'm going to put them mediocre. Up next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, and I know I've been saying this the last couple of years, but I think they're going to be a great team. It's hard to not think they're going to be a great team, because I still think Zach Taylor is an okay coach. Joe Burrow, one of the best QBs in the league. Jamar Chase, right now the best receiver in the league. And plus, having him and T. Higgins still around paying them is great for the Bengals, keeping them around for several years. Plus, even though their defense last year was absolutely terrible, I think the Bengals did a great job in the draft making sure they add on to their defense, adding on to their offensive line. I think they overall did great, except for one part. They didn't do anything to fix their secondary, which really bothers me, because that was really a weak spot for the Bengals defense last year. But the Bengals did get a bunch of new coaching this year, because they fired almost all their coaches last year because it made sense to. So hopefully the coaching will help their secondary out. But overall, I think they will be a good team. Alright, next we got the Cleveland Browns. Before I give you my prediction and basically my opinion on the Browns, let me make one thing clear. I don't hate the Browns, and I actually do think the Browns have some talent for sure. Like, they have Myles Garrett. They have Nick Chubb, hopefully. Plus another running back they drafted. We'll get to that later. They've got Jerry Jeudy. They got David Njoku. Like, they have some solid talent on this team. Like, I don't think they're a talentless team at all. But with that being said, as my prediction, I have the Browns finishing as the worst team in the league this year. I think they're going to be the worst team in football. I'm sorry. It's just, there's just so many holes on this team that just haven't been filled yet. There's a couple that did, but just not enough. That offense honestly makes me nervous. Like other than the talent around it, there's just not enough around it. Plus, their quarterback room is just going to be such a question mark this year. Now, don't get me wrong. Overall, I think the Browns had a very solid draft. I think Mason Graham was a great pick. I think Judkins in the 3rd round was a great pick. Or was it the 2nd? I probably messed that up. But the two picks that are really being talked about the most, and it's the biggest question marks, obviously, are the two quarterbacks they drafted. And they are both Dylan Gabriel from Oregon and Colorado Shedeur Sanders. Well, either you love Shedeur or hate him. You have to question who's going to win that quarterback battle between Gabriel and Shedeur, and if they're even going to be good in the NFL. So I think it's going to be a big experiment over in Cleveland this year. I don't expect anything out of them, and I expect them to probably win 3 to 4 games, around last year's. Up next, we got the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to be mediocre, and they're going to continue to be mediocre if they draft and basically pick up players the way they are right now. Elephant in the room, I think Jerry Jones is a fucking moron, and he doesn't know how to be a game manager at all. He needs to stick to being an owner, or honestly getting out of there as it is. He's not doing anything to help that team. He's just being a good comedian for the rest of us. They made a lot of bad offseason decisions, like getting rid of Rico Dowdle, hiring the offensive coordinator and the head coach as they did. They made a great decision on having Eberflus as their defensive coordinator, but other than that, horrible head coach decision in my opinion. And even though they have players like Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb, and if you want to say Dak Prescott, you can, but overall, this team's still going to be mediocre. Next, we got the Denver Broncos. This team's going to be so good, dude. I fear for how the Chiefs are going to be playing this season, because I think the Broncos are going to be right on their tail. I think their offense is extremely underrated, and I think what they did in the draft was really good, drafting the players positions that they need. Plus, I think they still have a lot of talent around them. I think Bo Nix is going to take it a step up this year. I think their defense is going to be really, really good. Like, it was already one of the best in the league last year. And then adding Greenlaw and Hafunga, it's just going to make it even better. If I'm Kansas City, I would watch their backs because the Broncos and another team is going to really contend with them this year. I have a really good feeling. Up next, we got the Detroit Lions. Like, we already know they're going to be an elite team, but to the people that are trying to say they're going to be the best team in the league this year, I disagree. Don't get me wrong, they're still going to be an elite team, but honestly, I don't think their team got much better. I think they kind of stayed the same. You already saw how the Lions were without Aiden Hutchinson, and some games they proved that they really needed him. So we're really asking how he's going to be like this year, when he's going to come back. So they're really going to need him. Overall, the Lions are going to be a really good team this year. Even though their draft was okay, like, I think they will still be a top team. Next, we got the Green Bay Packers. I think this team took a really good step up this year so far in this offseason, and I was a huge fan of their draft. I think Matthew Golden was such a great pick, and plus, finally, they drafted a receiver in the first round. What a great way to do it, drafting Matthew Golden. I think Sorrell's going to be really good. I think Brinson's going to be really good. Overall, I loved what the Packers did in this draft, and I think this team got a lot better. And as long as Jordan Love stays healthy this year and he's consistent this year, I think the Packers are going to be a lot better than they were last year. Up next, we got the Houston Texans. I'm going to put them in solid because I think they will be a solid team. Like, they really didn't get much better in my opinion. For one, I thought their draft was just okay. Two, I really don't know what to say about the offense. I'm kind of worried about them, honestly. I don't think they really did much to fix their offensive line. Plus, who knows how CJ Stroud's going to do this year. I have hope for him. Plus, we don't know if Tank Dell's even going to play. Like, they might just have Nico Collins. So, even though they did draft a second receiver in the NFL draft, like, we don't know how he's going to be. And plus, hopefully this team stays healthy. Now, I will say I think their defense will be fantastic. I don't think they should have any worries on the defensive side of the ball. But if I am the Texans, I'd be worried about their offense. Up next, we got the Indianapolis Colts. Again, I think they're going to be solid. I'm going to put them not in mediocre. I'm just going to put them above. Like, I just think they're going to be a little better than last year. Their offense still bothers me. I did think they did a great job in trying to help out their defense in the draft. But overall, I think they're going to be around the same. Plus, I worry about their quarterback room. Up next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Before I give you my ranking, I think they had a fantastic draft, and I think they had the best draft out of any team this year. But I still think I'm going to put them in trash for now. I don't think they're going to be exactly a trash team, but it's hard to rank them above that because I think there's still a lot of holes they didn't fill. For one, I really don't know how to think about Trevor Lawrence. If he plays like he did last year, this year, I think his days of being a starting QB are over for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then also, like, we don't know how the coach is going to be this year. Like, we really don't know a lot about this team yet. Even though I think, obviously, Travis Hunter is going to be an absolute stud on both sides of the ball. I'm really excited to see how Travis Hunter does this year. And I'm really happy to see how excited he is playing over there. I still don't think the Jaguars are going to be that good. Next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. We have to put them in elite. It's honestly the law at this point. Like, as the amount of times we try to count them out, they always try to prove it's wrong. Like, as long as they have Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, and Andy Reid, they're always going to be a top team. I will say, I don't think they had that great of a draft, but as long as most of that team stays healthy, like Rashee Rice and Pacheco, I think they're going to be good again. Up next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to put them in mediocre because I think they still are a mediocre team. But I am kind of interested to see how they will do this year because they made a lot of changes. First of all, Pete Carroll's their head coach is honestly a really good move, even though he's honestly a very old coach. And his coaching style might be a little outdated. I think he's the best coach they've had in a while. And plus, Geno Smith, I'm not the biggest fan of that move, but it's not a bad move. Like, even though I would have loved to see them draft a new QB in the draft, Geno Smith isn't the worst decision. And obviously, Ashton Jeanty, just like Travis Hunter, I'm extremely excited to see how he does this year because he was an absolute demon in college. So I hope to see him do really great things for Vegas. But other than that, who is Geno Smith going to throw the ball to? Like, they've got Jacoby Myers, but that's it, dude. Like, they don't have anyone else. Plus, I don't think they really improved their defense, and I think their defense is going to suck. But overall, like, this team improved a little bit, but not by much. Up next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers. I think this team's going to be great. I think they're going to be better than they were last year, and I think they're going to be a very underrated team. Having Jim Harbaugh as the coach is one of their best decisions they made in a long time. He proved that last year, and I think he's going to prove it even more this year. I'm not going to lie, some of the draft choices they made were a little questionable. Like drafting a running back in the first round, really don't understand that. But other than that, they had a solid draft. I think their offense is going to be really good. Their defense is going to be good. Overall, this is going to be a good team. Up next, we've got the Los Angeles Rams. Just like the Chargers, I think they're going to be a great team, but a little better than the Chargers. I think this team has a really good chance of being really, really good this year. I know losing Cooper Kupp sucks because he's been on the Rams his entire career, so seeing him on a new team, especially a rival, might hurt, but other than that, the Rams have done nothing but improve this offseason. Like, they've got Devontae Adams, even though he is on the older side, he is still an elite receiver, and I think he will be great on that team. And plus, their defense is very underrated. I know it doesn't have the much star power, but it's still a really good team, bro. Like, you have to be honest. Up next, we've got the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to put them in mid. They're just like the Cardinals to me. There's just nothing that really motivates me about that team. I think Mike McDaniels is such a moron. It's insane. Like, we really have to be concerned about Tua's health at this point because if he gets another concussion, I really have a hard time seeing how his NFL future is going to be. Because if he gets another one, I have to say, bro, he has to be done. Like, that's way too many concussions. And plus, they still have a lot of talent like Devon Achane. They still have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They still have Jonnu Smith. Like, but you have to be honest. Like, as long as they stay healthy, I think they will be good. But that's the big concern is if they will stay healthy. And plus, you got to make sure Tyreek's head is in the right place because a million times he said he wanted to leave, but he keeps changing his mind. Like, you got to keep his head in the right spot. And plus, their draft was just okay. There's really nothing that really motivates me about this team, but I still think they're going to be okay. Next, we've got the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to do this for now. If J.J. McCarthy is a good quarterback, this team's going to be absolutely elite. But if we're going to, let's just say J.J. McCarthy's just not even that good or just okay, I'll still put him in great for now. Like, the decisions they made in the offseason really, really improved this team. So far, the Vikings have had a fantastic offseason, adding guys like Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen on their defensive line. Having Jordan Mason as their second running back was a very underrated choice, boosting up their secondary. This team is looking very strong, dude. The only question we have is how J.J. McCarthy is going to do this year. Next, we got the New England Patriots. As long as this team stays healthy, I think they're going to be very solid this year. And they might contend for the playoffs. I'm very high on them this year. I think their offense got better this year. I still worry about their offensive line, but other than that, I think their offense got better. I think Drake May is going to be really good this year. And plus, when you look at their defense, it's really hard to ignore it. I think they have a really solid defense, and overall, I think they're a very solid team. Up next, we got the New Orleans Saints, and I have to be honest, if you're looking for a super biased Saints fan, this is not the right place for you. I try my best to be honest, and even I try to be honest about my own team. I already know we're going to be trash this year, and it's sad. Like, I know, but we're going to suck. For one, I don't even know how our coach is going to be this year. Two, I don't know how our defense is going to be because I really don't know how our defensive coordinator is going to be. Getting rid of Dennis Allen was good for head coaching, but getting rid of him for defense, being a defensive coordinator, that really sucked. And then also, elephant in the room, I think the Saints right now have the worst quarterback room in the league. Like I'm not going to lie, like, drafting Tyler Shell we needed to draft a QB, but he's giving me really bad Will Levis 2.0 vibes. Like, I'm not feeling it right now. And plus, this team really hasn't changed. Like, it's always been injury prone, and, like, our team's old, dude. Like, it's just going to be the same as long as we have our owner around and our game manager. Like, they're keeping us, like, they're keeping us down. Like, they're really holding us back from being anything special. So I think this team's going to suck. Up next, we got the New York Giants. I'm going to put them in mediocre for now, but I think this team has a really strong chance to be really solid this year. Whether Jackson Dart was the right pick or not, they finally got a QB, which is great. Abdul Carter was a really good draft pick, Overall, I think their defense is going to be really good this year if it's healthy. Their offense will be solid if they have the right QB. I'm a fan of Tyrone Tracy. I'm a fan of Malik Neighbors, but the most underrated pick in my opinion from them was Scattaboo. I think him next to Tyrone Tracy, he has the chance to be really, really good, dude. I'd watch out for him this offseason. Even though I really don't like this team, like, I have to be honest, I think they have a chance to be solid. Next we got the New York Jets. I have to be honest, I think this team's going to suck as well. Like, even though I think Justin Fields can be really good for the Jets, and honestly, he should have been drafted to the Jets in the first place. Like, overall, I just don't have a lot of confidence in this team. Like, yes, they drafted offensive linemen, but you already know how the luck is with them drafting linemen. It's never been good. Plus, I don't know how Aaron Glenn's going to be as a head coach. I'm not looking forward to how he is with offense. I do think their defense will be better. Like, they still have a lot of talent overall on this team, like Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, and Sauce Gardner. But overall, I just don't really see this team being good. Up next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles. They won the Super Bowl. I have to put them in elite, and they did lose a little bit of talent, but overall, they mostly kept the same core around. Even though their draft was just alright, I think this team's still going to contend. As long as they have Saquon, they're going to be great. As long as they have Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, they're going to be great. Their offensive line is arguably the best in the league. Their defense is still really strong. Overall, this team's still going to be elite. Up next, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Depends on who they get at quarterback, so I'm going to put them in okay for now. Like, if they get Aaron Rodgers, not the biggest fan of that move, but it will be solid for them, and I think they really have a shot of being really good this year. Like, their offensive weapons really says it. Like, DK Metcalf and George Pickens at receiver is really good. I think their defense is going to be extremely strong. Adding Darius Slay was really good. Like, overall, I think this team can be really good this year. Up next, we got the San Francisco 49ers. Actually, this morning, they did pay George Kittle 4 years, $76 million. That's a great move because if they don't keep him around, there's really no reason to be watching this team. I'm not going to lie. All jokes aside, I have to be honest, man. Like, if you think they're going to be great or elite, like, please be honest with yourself. They really got so much worse this year. And putting them in okay/mid is honestly a little bit generous. Like, part of me thinks they're a little mediocre, but with how much talent they still have on this team, that wouldn't be right. Like, they still have Brock Purdy, they still have CMC, they still have Juszczyk, thank God. They still have George Kittle, they still have Juan Jennings and Ayuk if he puts his head in the right spot. And then they still have great defensive talent like Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. But overall, this team took such a nosedive. And plus, shockingly enough, their coaching last year was such a big concern, especially with guys like, especially from Kyle Shanahan. I was actually shocked with how bad his coaching was this year, just this last year. Don't get me wrong, adding Robert Saleh to defensive coordinator is a fantastic move, but I don't know how much that's going to improve that team. And also, I have to be honest, I thought their draft this year was awful. Like, they did awful in the draft. Up next, we got the Seattle Seahawks. I think they're going to be solid this year. Like, part of me thinks they might be mediocre, but for now, I'll just put them in solid. There's just a lot of issues with this team right now. Yes, adding Cooper Kupp might help them, but he's a big injury concern on its own. Their defense is still going to be solid, but it's their offense that really worries me. Like, there's just a lot of holes that didn't get filled. And plus, I have to be honest, I don't think Sam Darnold is the right QB for that situation. I have a bad feeling Sam Darnold's not going to be good this year in Seattle. But if he isn't, like, that's fine because they did draft Jalen Milroe, which was a really good pick. So I think he has the chance to be a really good QB. So there is a little bit of hope over there, but overall, I think this team's going to be just okay. Up next, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This team's going to be really good, and I think they're going to be better than they were last year. They mostly kept the same core around. They re-signed Chris Godwin, which was great because even though he gets injured a lot, when he is healthy, he's still a fantastic receiver. I think their defense is going to be really good this year. Baker Mayfield's a dog. Like, overall, I really do like this team, even though they are a rival, and I think they are going to be really good. Up next, we got the Tennessee Titans. They did draft Cam Ward, which was a great move, but overall, I think this team's going to be a big experiment this year. I don't think they're going to be that good. Like, there's really nothing else to say. Like, this team is basically rebuilding right now. Like, there's really nothing really to look forward to other than Cam Ward. Their defense sucks. Their offense like right now sucks, but like overall this team's gonna be experiment. Like there's really nothing else to say. And the last team we've got is the Washington Commanders. I think this team's going to be elite, and I think they're going to be better than they were last year if they stay healthy. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be really, really good this year, like better than last year, hopefully. The talent they have around is really good. Laramie Tunsil, adding him to the offensive line is a really good move. Even though Deebo Samuel, still, I'm not the biggest fan of him. If he stays healthy and he is motivated, I think he could be really good for that team. I think their defense got a little better, even though it's a little bit of a concern still. Overall, I think this team's going to be really, really damn good. And there you guys have it. That was me giving you guys my NFL ranking of every NFL team after the draft. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if this video was too long. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed it. Let me know down below on how you're feeling about your NFL team after the draft, and let me know what grade you would give your team for the NFL draft. I would love to know. In the meantime, that's where we're going to be done for the day. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. I'm Logan Sharon. I'll see you next time.